What's going on, people? So moments ago, I just finished doing a live unboxing of these shoes here, which is why they're not in a box. The box is down there. If you want to see it, let me know and I can send you a picture or something. But anyway, so here's the thing. Here's the backstory real quick, right? A while ago, like a good while ago, I did a contest sort of thing about where I wanted people to design a pair of shoes, like on Nike ID, and send me their designs. I'd pick one and then I'd get that one, right? So that's what happened. That's how I ended up with these, right? And then, of course, the reason I did a double unboxing earlier today was because obviously I bought two shoes along with that, right? Not for me, but for the winner, which was BX, I also bought him a pair, which I'll probably have to get a picture from him so I can have that slipped in or something. But since he won, I figured I wanted to give him something as well, right? And given that it's like the season of giving or whatever, and I'm just a giving person in general, I was like, all right, dude, so pick something for you, same price or lower on Nike ID, send me the design and I'll take care of it from there. And I gotta say, like, the design he made, pretty awesome. The design he made over here, also pretty awesome. But the thing that's just as and maybe even more awesome is that these orders were put on like the 3rd or 4th, something like that, of December. And it's what, the 14th? And these things have been made and shipped and delivered all in that time frame. Like I said, they just got here earlier today. So it's like about a 10-day-ish window. And these things are created by hand, obviously, somewhere in Vietnam and then shipped over here. So for those to make it here in this kind of time frame with all the other bulk mail that's kind of slowing things down in some places, it's kind of a cool deal. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the shoe itself, right? And we'll get this whole thing broken down. So first off, this is a Nike by You box, Nike ID as it used to be called. On the side, you've got that thing going on there. It just doesn't really have like a standard size tag and all that stuff. It just says Nike by your name. And then it's got a little picture of the shoe. So pretty nice. Now, this shoe right here, just to kind of give you like a quick little rundown of it, right? So me being from Iowa, which some of you guys may know, maybe you don't, I don't know. But so that was part of the inspiration as far as like the color choices and whatnot, which makes perfect sense. And going into fall, which was around the time when this whole thing started, the design contest, it also made sense along with that too. Now he did give me a few other designs, but this was just the one that I picked. But anyways, now that we've done that, let's knock out an actual review on this right here, ladies and gentlemen. A Nike Air Max 1 by BX. For me, not you. Alright, so we're going to start this thing with the bottom. Right here, what you're going to see is a standard outsole for the most part. But on this particular pair, it's got a gum bottom, right? Which is a thing that I like to see, but don't see enough of, personally. Moving on up here to the midsole, this is just your standard. It's not like the white, it's kind of like a salish color, right? And so then behind that though, you've got the air bubble, which is greened out, which you can kind of see in there. I'll get you a good picture just to make sure it comes across as I like it to. So you got that going on as well. So far so good, am I right or am I right? Now, moving up along to the upper here, which is where we generally do the bulk of the talking. So around the toe area, like that mudguard situation, you've got this kind of like an olive green sort of thing. I think it's called foliage green. I can't remember. But the one thing I can tell you for a fact is that it is crazy soft. Like the material quality that you get on a Nike ID, Nike by You shoe, at least on the Air Maxes and on the React Prestos, is crazy. I say the Prestos, I bring those up because if you've been following this channel for a while, you remember earlier in the year, I did this same thing back then too. But anyways, moving along back to the shoe here, moving further back, you've got that same high quality feeling, sort of feels like a suede nubuck maybe, but you've got that whole thing. Everywhere you see the green, it's the same quality all around. The swoosh is also the same quality as well, just a different color, sort of a wheat sort of vibe going on there. But again, top notch, especially when you consider the price of these. Now, back over here to the toe area. Above the toe, you've got just your standard white mesh sort of look going on there. Nothing too crazy about it. Again, it feels pretty great as well. And then moving back to the around the ankle area, you've got that same sort of style going on as far as like the white. It's just a different sort of pattern, or whatever you want to call it, back there. And now, while we're back there, one thing that I'll have to show you, and I gotta show you both shoes at the same time or it doesn't make sense. I do have the initials on the back of there. Now, obviously that was a choice that he put in there, but I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? Because on these Nike IDs, you can only put so much on some shoes. Some let you get a few more letters, some only let you put it on the tongue, whatever. Anyway, so moving back along here, moving back along to the back of the shoe anyway. At the top, you do have the nice little sock liner going on there. So there you go, it kind of has that same wheat sort of look as it does on the rest of the lacing and all that stuff. Speaking of which, the lacing, right? Now, these laces here, I do like this color a lot. Like I said in the live, if you watched it, they do remind me of wheat, you know? Like that's the first thing I thought of when I saw them. And that's just kind of a cool thing. But I mean, I guess if you grow up near like farms or something, maybe that's how your mind just works. And then, I mean, the laces themselves aren't anything spectacular. They have kind of a sort of a rough, plasticky sort of feel to them, but you know, it is what it is. And then you couldn't do anything with like the tongue up there, so you just have the standard black text for the logo. And then I think we have covered everything, right? So it looks like we have. So I guess now the next part would be the sizing and that whole on foot thing, right? So here's the thing, right? To me, the Nike Air Max 1 is a true to size fit. It's also pretty comfortable given what it is. And I say what it is, meaning like something that's super freaking old, right? The technology isn't far from modern times, but it's going to be better than a decent number of things that are still out there, and on par with a decent number of things that are still out there, some of which very new. So that gives these a nice little edge in my book because they also have a pretty decent look to them as well. Now, is it going to be something that that you should really compare everything else to? Not necessarily, again, because it's old. You do have that. But again, just for what it is, if you're looking for something that's relatively cheap, but pretty comfortable and has a good look to it, I think this is one of the ways you might want to go, especially when given that Nike ID will let you customize your pairs, then you can kind of fine tune them to however you need them to look. But overall, it's got a nice feel as far as the materials go, so I think anybody who gets a pair of these, Air Max 1s that is going to be pretty good with them. So past that, there's really not a whole lot else to say because it's an Air Max 1. There's been 1,000,001 reviews out there. I'm just doing this because I wanted to bring up what happened, right? Like the whole paying respect to BX for taking a bunch of time out of his day to make various designs for me, all very inspirational from different things. Like, okay, well, I based these off of running, I based these off of this thing that you like. These are based off of The Undertaker. And like, he hit me with like a lot of stuff, man. It was crazy. But again, thank you to him for making this happen. I appreciate it a whole heck of a lot. And if you caught the live, you saw that he was also appreciative of his pair, which is very cool in itself. But for now, I believe we've covered everything that there is to cover, right? So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll be seeing you guys eventually whenever I guess I do more videos, more lives or whatever. Until then, go ahead and leave a comment down below on how much you like this little Biggie Biggie jersey that I picked up a while ago. It seemed relevant for the time being, you know? BX, he's a New York guy. Biggie's a New York guy. All right. But anyways, later people.